3 plays down, 2 plays left, the best of the best in the top 5 sniper plays of HCS London. Let's get right into it. What you're about to witness was one of the nastiest overkills of HCS London. APG has a sniper rifle. Rami is making a sprint towards blue flag. Watch APG drag this scope over Rami's face, dropping this man mid-thrust. Oh, dude, that was disgusting, and he's not done. Switching to the pistol, taking out Contra for the double, 2 players in blue court with the no-scope for the triple, and from the sky, overkill, sitting on Bullet's face. Like I said, a nasty overkill, so nasty. Let's replay it without my commentary and listen to the audience in the background. It's actually pretty funny.
Your bond. They're pillar bond. We go in our jump. Our jump. 2 shots.
Nice.
2 shot. Our jump up. Tapping.
I won't. Team. Archers, one shot wall. Nice. To the court. To the court.
They're both bond. Both bond ring 1.
I won.
One more ring 1. Ring 1.
Got him.
Dead. 2 dead. Nice, Brad. Let's go.
I run. Drop it. Here, take the snipe. Thanks.
I'm gonna go ring 3.
I'm gonna go to the courier or the rocks as well.
All right, guys, let's break it down. Now, this is a shorter clip, so likely the analysis will be shorter as well. There's just less to talk about, but I have a couple things I want to add to the discussion that I think would be helpful. The first one is about staying alive on ring 3. Now, of course, we know ring 3 is an excellent vantage point, especially with the sniper rifle. You have so many sightlines across the map. You can take out people off spawn, but if you're spotted up here, it's very hard to stay alive. Most of the time, you're forced to drop back down to ring 2 and stay alive there. So there's a couple techniques you can use to stay up here longer. Remember we talked about with Shotsy yesterday, he held crouch and then jumped while holding crouch, which allowed him to have a shorter height, a lower peak height on his jump, so he could jump over to this arm comfortably and keep his head nice and low, make it hard for people to see his head as he traversed across ring 3 here. But if Shotsy was spotted, or let's say if APG was spotted here, it would be very hard for him to stay alive. He doesn't have too many options once he's spotted, right? If somebody's on blue base, he can strafe over to the rock here and hide behind the rock and stay alive, but that's only really temporary, because if somebody's on the blue hut, they might still be able to cross him and take him out, so that doesn't help him for too long. And then he has to drop to ring 2, and if he's in ring 2, it's hard to conveniently get back up to ring 3 again unless you're near that jump up, right? So there's another thing you can do, though, and this is the perfect place to try to master this technique, and it's the drop back clamber up technique that I've talked about in previous videos. And I'll probably make a separate video for this because I've learned a way to hit it consistently 100% of the time. Now, it still takes some skill to pull off, but I've learned a new way to get it even more consistently. So the way the drop back clamber works, as we know, is let's say you're taking shots, especially from ring 2. Let's say you're taking shots from ring 2 and you look at the guy, you can drop backwards and then clamber right back up so he thinks you're falling, and then you immediately come back up to challenge him again, which works really well in ring 2 because he has a horrible angle on you. If you drop down, the player thinks that you've left that spot. Sometimes they throw a grenade, like a pre-nade, thinking that you're going to drop on it, but instead you come back up, you take them out with a couple shots. And it's difficult to pull off because if you peg that left stick backwards, you'll fall too far from the edge and you can't clamber back up. So I had talked about, doing a light tap backwards or a quick tap backwards and trying to grab it. I've learned a new way, okay? Hold the crouch button right before you fall off that edge. If you hold crouch, it'll cap out your movement speed at a slower speed. So every time you fall from that edge, you're still within clamber range and you can hit the clamber every single time. So you don't have to crouch walk for a while. Just hold crouch right at the edge, right before you fall off. So you use the crouch speed to fall off and then you can clamber back up. If you can get in the hang of doing that, you can hit this technique consistently every single time and you can juke the hell out of people on ring 3. Now, it's dangerous to do it too much, but one time every once in a while could be the difference between you landing a kill and staying in a power position or losing a power position and potentially dying. So try to take advantage of it. You hold crouch, drop backwards while holding crouch. It caps out your movement speed. You can still clamber right back up and get back to the edge. So pretty great thing to consider. Now, the next part is this crazy flick. Now, remember we talked about scoping in the reticle as close as possible to this opponent so that you can land the shot with confidence. But in this scenario, APG scoped in and Rami is already thrusting. He's burning a thrust out to the left. So APG has to do a dramatic peg, a flick over to the left with confidence, which is a crazy shot, hard shot to hit. Now, we talked about the position of your left thumb on your left stick, and let's touch on that again really quickly. In the end of the day, you want to have your thumb in the place that's most comfortable for you, where you hit your most comfortable, most confident shots. But logically speaking, if you hold your thumb, and not the tip of your thumb, but I'm going to create an imprint on my thumb to try to tell you where I've been putting it recently, right about here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's on the upper area, and everybody has different sized thumbs and different shaped thumbs, so it's all going to be different. But I find that if I keep the thumb kind of rested in that general area, I still have the tip over where I can flick over to the right, and I can do really quick, dramatic, like aggressive clicks, like flicks. I can't even talk. Aggressive, fast flicks where I can land it on the opponent precisely. But this requires more stress from my hand, more tension, maybe. And if let's say it's over here, it's close to the joint, it's going to be hard to flick left. If it's too close to the tip, it's going to be hard to flick right. So there's a sweet spot in between, and that sweet spot's different for everybody. But if it's higher, you'll flick more aggressively. If it's lower, it's going to be harder to do quicker, aggressive flicks. In the end of the day, keep it in that spot that's comfortable for you, but try to pay attention to whether or not you sacrifice that form. So if you consider that comfortable spot, wherever it is on that stick where you hit the most accurate, effective flicks, wherever that is, do you sacrifice that form at any point in a gunfight? Because I know I do. At the end of a gunfight, especially if a player thrusts last second and I'm forced to whip around, sometimes my thumb will slip off the stick, like almost entirely, or it slips down close to the joint in the thumb, and then I no longer have the same control that I had with my original form where I was the most confident. So if you notice your thumb slipping off of the stick or sacrificing form at any time in a gunfight, that could be contributing to why you're missing shots. Try to maintain that most confident form at all points in a gunfight. And if you notice yourself doing that, if you notice yourself having it slip off, create a mental note of that and try to avoid having your thumb slip off in those critical scenarios in the future. Stay patient. Take your time. Make every movement on the right stick deliberate, and only the necessary movements are the ones that you should be doing, where you see the opponent and you confirm where he is and you flick over and land the shot, hit the shot effectively. Hopefully some of that is effective for you guys, and hopefully that allows you to recognize areas where your thumb might be slipping off the stick. You might be losing a confident form. So try to consider that and see how that goes. Now, he lands that first shot, which is amazing. This next part here is smart from APG, just switching to the pistol, not burning a sniper bullet, knowing that he has 3 shots left in the chamber and his teammates are shooting at this guy. Why waste a sniper bullet? Just shoot him with the pistol, take him out. Great job from APG. Now, this flick is pretty nuts as well, and I'm going to do something kind of cool to showcase this flick. We're going to knock it into 25% or 0.25 speed right here, where you can see it in slow motion. Now, he lines it up perfectly, and he does his flick at the very last second downward, like bam, just like that. And it lands, so he fires the shot at the peak, I guess, right at the start of that flick, and it's just a quick little flick downwards, and it connects with the head and takes out that player. So I don't know if there's too much that you can kind of learn from that scenario, but take your time and shoot in the final moment with a quick, decisive flick to land that shot, especially here. You're falling from the sky. He has an idea of where that player is going to be, but do not panic. Just wait until that player is in that comfortable window, that comfortable area of reaction where you know you can hit that shot, and shoot at the last possible second, whip it on, and then follow up with the beatdown. He takes out that player. So really patient, decisive decisions made by APG here, and that's what resulted in an amazing overkill that you guys saw just a second ago. So what do you guys think of these clips? That's pretty much everything I'm going to cover for this one, and we're going to move on to the next clip, the final one, and I'm sure you all know what it is. So stay tuned for tomorrow, guys. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell beside the subscribe button, keep in touch with everything the moment it comes out, and make sure to tune in tonight, 5 p.m. CT, 6 p.m. Eastern, where we're going on HCS Weekly, talking to Stress, covering all the biggest things with stress and news in HCS. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys tomorrow with play number 1.